Yo, what's up? What's happening, people? Welcome to another episode of the Meathead on the Mic podcast. It's your boy, IFBB PRO coming at you with another topic. And today, we're going to be talking about the real reason why you can't stick to your diet. Okay. The real reason, as a man, why you can't stick to your diet. All right. But before we get into that, I'm going to set up over here on Instagram and TikTok Live. And then we're going to move in from there so we can get some people to join in on the conversation. And again, if you're new here, I want to let you know you are more than welcome to ask questions as you join. And as you do join, also let me know where you're watching this from. Hashtag I'm here if you're watching this on the live stream, or if you see this on anything else, you're watching the replay, even if it's YouTube, hashtag replay. All right. I want to see that. I want to see that you're seeing this. I want to know that you're watching. All right. Cool. Let's see here. What's up? I see you, Brittany. It's been a minute. It's been a while. How you been? How have you been? It's been forever. I'm just here setting up on Instagram. All right, cool. So let's get it all rolling. Let's get it all rolling. Let's get it all rolling. People, what's up? What's happening? Instagram, TikTok. Welcome to another episode of the Meathead on the Mic podcast. It's your boy, Matt Butale. And today we're going to be talking about the real reason that you can't stick to your diet. Okay, the real reason you cannot stick to your diet. And like I said before, and I'll say again, you are more than welcome to ask questions as we go along the live stream episode today. All right. But at the end, I'll try my very best to answer as many of them as I can. I won't answer everything, but I'll try my best. Okay. So, out of the ashes fitness, what's good? I see you. What's up? All right. So, we're going to be breaking down this episode very shortly. We're going to break it down in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Yo, what's good? What's happening? It's your boy, IFBB PRO Butale. Welcome again to another episode of the Meathead on the Mic podcast. Today, we're going to be breaking down the real reason why you cannot diet, the real reason why you can't stick to your diet, at least. Okay, so we're going to be putting an emphasis on pretty much something that I know a lot of people have questions to. Matter of fact, the main reason why I'm even doing this episode is because I had one person, a lot of people asked, but one person specifically that recently applied to the Natural Nomad Academy was asking, he's like, why is it that, I know what clean foods are, I'm able to eat them for a certain period of time, but then after a certain period of time, I just can't stick to it. Like, what's the deal behind that? Like, why is it that I know what foods are healthy, but I can't stick to eating them for longer than X amount of time, whether it's a couple of months, whether it's a couple of weeks, you know what the clean foods are. You might even like how they taste, but you can't stick to it. Right. So today we're going to be putting an emphasis on that. We're going to really be paying attention to the real reason why I believe, and probably why you believe, that you cannot stick to your diet. Okay. So the first thing that we're going to break down, and this is going to be a very simple episode. The very first thing that we're going to be breaking down is, and this is something that I know a lot of people know exists, but they don't really pay attention to, is food selection, like food variety. Like, you know what foods are healthy, you know what foods are unhealthy, right? You're well aware of those things. But the reason why you can't stick to your diet is because you're literally trying to stick not to a diet, but to eating like a handful of foods. Like, what if I went up to you and I said, you can't have rice ever again in your life? You can't have pasta ever again in your life. You can't have pizza, burgers, fries, any of that shit anymore in your life. How long do you realistically think you'd be able to stay away from eating that food? And it doesn't even have to be a food that you think is bad. It doesn't even have to be junk food. It could be literally anything. Okay? Like, if I told you you could only eat chicken and rice or beef, fuck, whatever it is for the rest of your life, how long do you think you could do it? The answer to that question is, of course, subjective for everybody, but it's not very long. Why? Because the moment that you limit yourself from eating other foods, not even like, it doesn't even have to be your favorite food that you cut out, just other foods. The moment that you cut that out completely, you really, really limit your perspective when it comes to what you can eat. And when you limit your perspective, you don't feel like it's sustainable enough because you feel like you're kind of in jail. You can only eat what you say coach can tell you to eat, or you can only eat what you think you need to eat in order to lose weight, when in reality, it does not work that way. In reality, it doesn't work that way. And what am I talking about? Well, in reality, We already know this, and if you don't, I'm going to introduce it to you. The basic fundamental that we have to understand when it comes to burning fat specifically is the fact that the less calories you eat, the more fat you will burn, especially if it's less than what is required for your body to maintain its current weight, i.e., being under a calorie deficit or a calorie maintenance level and into a calorie deficit, right? So, if we can understand that you can lose weight in any type of calorie deficit, then what's the fucking point of cutting out rice? What's the fucking point of cutting out pasta? What's the point of saying I'm never going to eat pizza again if the only variable that changes how much you weigh is fucking calories because everything's calories. Well, then the answer to that question becomes like it's stupid. It's stupid to limit yourself to only eating a certain amount of foods, unless you truly like it. Like if you just would rather have it that way and you're very simple, that's cool. Power to you, right? But most people, especially those that are listening to this episode, aren't like that. You guys aren't bodybuilders. You guys aren't high level athletes that could literally survive eating five different foods, three different foods, and even them, myself included, a professional bodybuilder, I don't even always eat the same shit all the time. Seriously, not because I'm picky, but because I know for a fact somewhere down the line it's going to get boring for me. And thank God for my willpower because I won't really give in. And even if I do, like it's still in a calculated, like I won't be making mistakes, but I will be giving it to cravings. Right. And that's if I don't address them. And that's if I don't, like, if I just completely block stuff out. Like, don't get it twisted. There are definitely points and times of the year where I'm prepping and I've got to like make sure that I'm only eating a certain amount of foods and certain, certain kinds of foods that my body digests really, really well, or things that are just favorable for me to produce the best possible physique. Like there is a point in time of the year when I'm prepping, whether it's in the off season, whether it's in I'm getting ready for a show, that I will limit myself to eating a certain group of foods, but it's for a functional purpose. It's not for the reason that you might have, which is, just to burn fat. And I'm not saying that that's not functional, but I'm saying the purpose, there's a different purpose for me. Okay. There's a completely different purpose for me. What's that purpose? It's to go on stage and showcase the amount of muscle that I was able to build. Right. So that's a completely different realm from you guys that might be listening to this. You just want to burn some fat. Maybe you want to put on some muscle too. You're not focused on going on stage, and I get that. And you don't have to be, which is why you don't have to only stick to a certain amount of foods or a certain type of foods to lose weight. Like there's no magical fucking food. And like I know social media, TV, all that shit, it's fucking you over because it's like eat spinach if you want to burn fat fast. Drink this tea if you want to lose 10 pounds by tonight. Fucking anything. Oh, stop eating rice and pasta because it's bad for you. Like it's fucking nonsense. And unfortunately, you don't know better. You don't have the knowledge to decipher whether or not this shit makes sense or not. And as a professional bodybuilder, let alone as a health and fitness enthusiast, I can see right through the bullshit. And if you go to any experienced vet, whether they're a bodybuilder or whether they're powerlifter, somebody that actually is worth a grain of salt, they will tell you that it's bullshit. That keto and all this and that, like there's no magical food type, magical diet type that once you start eating it, you're going to start losing weight regardless of the calories you consume. Because as I said, the basic fucking fundamental is that your calories that you consume are decreased under the point of maintenance and even better if you increase weight loss. Okay. And accelerated fat loss might be the thing that you all want so badly. Sure, whatever. But regardless, the whole entire point, the one thing I want you to understand in this very simple episode is that the main reason why you can't stick to your diet and get the progress that you know you should get is because you're limiting yourself so much with the amount of food, or at least the food selection, the food variety. Like you think only spinach and rice and chicken and asparagus will get you shredded. But the truth is that it's not. That's not true. You can still eat beef. You can still eat red meat. You can still have eggs. You can still have, you know what I mean? Whatever food you think is, whatever food you demonized and whatever food you think will make you fat because of whatever fucking article that you read, you're wrong. And you should be happy that you're wrong because now you get to incorporate a whole array of healthy foods that honestly, even if you ate them all over and over and over again, you couldn't get bored of it because of, well, number one, the way that you can season them, and number two, the fact that nothing's ever the same. And if it's always staying fresh to you, or you're never getting bored at the very least, then your ability to adhere to it for a longer period of time or forever, which is like what we all do as human beings. Like, we're gonna eat till we die, right? Well, okay, cool. Are we gonna eat the same thing every single day until we die? No. And that's what I'm saying. Understanding the fact that you will not eat the same thing every single day until you die is the biggest part of the reason why I'm even talking about this today. Because if it's so unrealistic for you to understand that you'll never limit yourself to only eating these few foods that you want just to burn fat, then like what's the long game? Ask yourself the question. Like, what's the long game? Okay, let's say you can limit yourself and you lose 30 pounds or whatever it is, 20 pounds, 15 pounds. What happens after that point when you start to eat those foods that you avoided again? And do you respect those foods the same way that you respected the other healthier foods? Meaning, do you measure even your junk food, or are you aware of it at least to know that you're not going to be going over the amount of calories that you need to be eating for that day? Like, realistically, how would you go on about your life and keep the weight off? It's impossible to do it that way, which is why I myself and my clients use the same philosophy 80/20. 80% of the time, you're eating home cooked meals that you're cooking yourself. They're all clean, they're all measured, everything's, you know what I mean? It's cool, it's kosher. Every single meal is also different as well. You got a different carb or protein source if you prefer that. Doesn't even have to be, because then it just gets annoying, and then when you're meal prepping, it's like 10 years because you're cooking 10 different things. But, whatever system you have working for you, that 80%, what you're cooking at home, what you're meal prepping, you'll eat, and the 20% of the time is that one meal you have in that one week that replaces the two last meals that you're supposed to eat for that day because of the caloric volume, but it's a burger or it's pizza or it's something that you just fucking wanted. And the plus to that is you're not going to be going over the calories that you need to consume, but you're also still giving into, if it's a sweet tooth, giving into your pizza, whatever it is, whatever craving, you get to give into it by also still keeping your progress, if not maintaining or like even excelling your progress, depending on like where you are and what your physique is like and all that stuff, right? So what I'm saying here is it's probably a lack of knowledge for you. It's not that you're afraid of food. It's not that like, you know, you think a certain thing. I just know that it's a lack of knowledge. Okay, because after you listening to this episode, you are more than welcome to go on Google and research what I'm talking about. And if I'm wrong, you can tell me about it. Scream at my face. Send me a fucking hate mail if I'm wrong. All right, because what I'm telling you is true, and I've helped so many people lose weight doing the same thing, let alone build muscle, doing the same thing by not having to cut out complete fucking food groups, whether it's junk or not. Because the truth be told, you can fit something anywhere. You can fit anything anywhere in your nutrition protocol with your fitness journey. It's just, does it help you or does it hold you back? And the only answer, or the only way to decipher if it's going to help you or hold you back, is if you have the discipline or the knowledge, or probably both, to factor in those quote unquote junk foods and still not exceed your caloric requirements. And here's a cherry on the sundae, you're still able to hit the targets for at least the very, very, very fucking least, the protein macronutrient requirement for your specific body, right? So if you want to burn fat, if you want to build muscle at the same time, and you want to keep the fat off, you're going to want to consume at least 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight while you're in that calorie deficit. Okay. And that also includes the days that you'll have that cheat meal, where you replace one or two meals of equal caloric value with the thing that you're cheating with, the food, the burger, whatever it is, right? But you're also still making sure that you're hitting your protein requirements so that you are giving your muscle the best possible chance to repair itself after the gym, assuming that you go, okay? And if not that, then build or retain muscle as you go along your fitness journey. Make sense? So think about it. There's no real food that you have to never eat again. Okay? As long as food equals calories and you make sure that you can get your protein in, technically speaking, you could even flip what I said, the 80/20, to the 20/80, and it would still work. And what's the 20/80? Would be like fucking eating clean 20% of the time and junk the rest of the week. And it will work, technically speaking, if we're talking strictly from a perspective of caloric intake. Okay. But the reason why you should never do that is because, again, going to the macronutrient side of things, protein, carbs, and fats, mainly protein specifically, so that we can retain, if not build muscle in the process, it will be damn near fucking impossible to hit your caloric requirement number with straight junk food, okay? And also hit your protein. It's like fucking impossible, right? So I wouldn't recommend it. Also, the amount of we'll say processed ingredients that exist in junk food you shouldn't be consuming on a regular basis. There's many reasons why we know you shouldn't be doing the 20-80 or the flip version of the 80-20, which is eating junk mostly and eating clean some of the time, right? Because the nutritional value of the food just isn't there. And you could technically still lose weight, but you would feel more drained. You wouldn't have the ability to have more muscle. And essentially it just gives you the a negative outcome in the same way that crash diets would, except this would just be like less of a crash diet because you're still eating what you want to eat and you're still eating a fair amount of it. But even once you do get down to that pocket, you're going to be weaker than when you started. You're going to be real frail. You're going to be tired. Your energy levels are going to be shit, which is why you don't want to like eat junk most of the time, even if you're still losing weight. Okay, even if you are able to drink protein shakes and hit your protein markers with the junk food, just the nutritional quality of the food is shit. So your body will not be able to optimize the best way, which is why we all understand why clean food is clean food. It's the function, it's the purpose. It's how it allows your body to operate. Okay. It gives you the best chance at the most optimal performance for your body when it comes to digestion, when it comes to training, when it comes to cognitive abilities, energy levels, so on and so forth. Right. So keep that in your head. The number one reason why you can't stick to your diet is because you're only giving yourself three fucking foods to eat. Either you're going to expand your knowledge and learn about how to incorporate other healthy foods and even learn how to incorporate some fucking unhealthy foods whenever you want them so that you never binge, you never crave, and you never undo your progress because everything fits into the system. You either do that or you hire someone to learn how to do that. You get a mentor, you hire a coach, you do a course, you fucking go on YouTube, you go on Google. This shit is literally free, all this information. Like it's not news me going on this episode and telling you this. So if you want to be able to get some freedom in your fitness journey and not feel like, oh fuck, I'm not gonna build muscle or I'm not gonna burn fat unless I only eat this certain thing. Like if you don't want to feel like that anymore, and if you want results, okay, that reflect your belief that you want to eat pizza, fucking cupcakes and shit like that sometimes, then look into it. Because I promise you, if you only limit yourself to eating chicken, if you only limit yourself to eating rice, beef, whatever it is that you're limiting yourself to, you will get your progress, but you will never keep it. Okay? That's it. That's all. I hope I was able to deliver a valuable experience to you guys and girls today. Thank you so much for your precious time and attention. Also, if you need help on creating a diet that you think you can actually stick to with options like other fast foods that you eat, junk foods that you eat, and you want to be able to incorporate it and still burn fat, if not build muscle at the same time, holla at your boy. Shoot me a DM. Literally just ask me the question and I'll tell you how to do it. All right. Let's embrace your inner meathead together. It's been nice chatting. Hope you like what today's topic was about. IFBB PRO Matt Butale signing out. Boom. All right, folks. Podcast episode's recorded. It's recorded. My nose is running. Y'all have to forgive me. Jesus Christ. I woke up this morning and I sneezed out like fucking blood, man. I had the worst nosebleed. Let's see if we got any questions here. So out of the ashes fitness, shout out to you, Seb's Physique. I appreciate you. Thanks for joining. Ryan Manraj, what's good? He says, why are my glutes not growing? Because your butt plug isn't big enough, bro. Shout out to Manraj. He's my dude. He's always trolling. Ben, what's good? Ooh, you working, Ben? Natty Nomad in the house. Sammy, what's up? Derek, what's good? Shout out to MJ. Shout out to Luds. What's happening, bro? What's happening, Luds? Akash, what's good? Joe, Apollo. Joe's active. What's good, Joe? What's good? We in tonight, Apollo? You know what time it is. Joe says I avoid them all them bad foods. Way of life. Joe Budding, clap. You know what time we on, bruh. Keel, what's good? Joe says, I lowered my cholesterol from 253 to 198 by eating healthy and drinking lots of water. So shout out to Joe. Round of applause for Joe. That's fucking wicked, dude. That's wicked. Because it's not just the physique, right? Like you actually improved your health. That is big, bro. I like that. Yo, Illinois, what's good? It's been a minute. I haven't seen you, man. Let's look at TikTok to see what we got here on TikTok. Okay, I'm not reading anything on TikTok because it's just straight up fucking retarded. Like today, I don't know why. Anyway, people, you know what it is. Oh, Brittany, appreciate the virtual hug on YouTube there. I hope you guys and girls have a sick ass, kick ass Monday and rest of your week. We'll be back again with another important topic very shortly. All right. So if you like this one, share it out to a friend. But other than that, you know what time you're on. Peace, love, and motherfucking